All right, what scene are we on? Are we on my gaming scene? I think we're on my gaming scene. Is this the gaming scene? Yes, it is. Game time with Zara Nizarak. That's me. But it's Halloween, so we probably want to go with spooky games. All right, here we go. Actually, I have food in front of me and I want to eat it. So, Zara Nizarak plays scary games. Da 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 da. Woo! All right. Hi. Oh, where'd all my lights go? All my lights are gone. Hold on a second. It looks crooked, but there we go. And turn this one off. And turn this one on.
Bluetooth mode.
Get it blood red. Blood red. Ooh, ah, 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 ah. All right. Still looks a little crooked. I'll fix that in a sec. So, sorry for the short intro today. I have food, which I'll show you in just a sec here. We have food. Maybe I should have the other light on while we're eating. You can actually see the food. There we go. Food. We have a pair of steaks cut from and some sautéed mushrooms and a baked potato which I've split and buttered. Good eating here, folks. Oh my God, Jason, how's it going, dude? I have a little bit of chips left, some Doom flavor Doritos. For anyone wondering, Jason there is the Jason, who you will all know from Multimedia Chronicles Retro. Yes, he's not just a figment of my imagination. No, he is not what I arbitrarily named my camera. He is actually a person. He's actually been in some videos, too. Oh, excellent. I see you've been doing quite a lot of stuff in the live streaming world in recent years as well. I've been enjoying the pictures you've been showing of your setup and stuff, doing the hockey games and stuff. That's very cool. Looks like you got a pretty slick setup there. I like that big camera because, you know, it's important to have that extra 8 inches of camera. Call your uncle. Look at that. Oh, like, you can't really see too well on the webcam, but look how that's perfect. Perfectly pink. See? Where are you watching? You're over on YouTube. Yeah. See, and this is why I'm loving the multi-stream, because I can just kind of touch base with everybody all at once and not have to play favorites between the streaming services on every given day. 2 big cam. Well, yeah, you're going to have the multicam. This is how things have progressed. So I have my Panasonic TM900 camcorder, right, which I use for most of my YouTube videos. It's very nice. Lots of features. Nice flip-out screen so I can monitor what I'm doing. But it's 1080p. It's like a 10-year-old camera. It's 1080p, 60 frames per second. Great. But I just recently got this phone. This dinky-ass little phone. Samsung Galaxy S9. Okay? This fucking phone has more camera features than I've ever seen before, and it records in 4K, 60 frames per second. So it's like, and just bright, crisp, vibrant color, and it's like, it's a fucking phone. How is this dinky ass little phone better than my camera? Like a dedicated camera It's crazy how much technology has progressed. Mm. This was actually going to be a HelloFresh night. We got some tikka masala from HelloFresh, and it's our last one for this week. We're getting a new shipment tomorrow of another 3 meals. And I had prearranged with Rose that tonight would be our tikka masala night. She cooked the previous 2. Her choice. I didn't make her or anything. It was entirely up to her. And I was going to cook the last one for us tonight. But she decided to go hang out with her boyfriend and some other friends. And they're having lasagna for dinner, apparently. So, well, I'm there. Okay. Fuck it. Steak night, then. A rant about that, yes. Yeah, rants seem to be where it's at. Just looking at my views, people really don't give a shit about my gameplay videos. I think they're pretty fucking entertaining. I enjoy playing games. I enjoy making... Well, dude, how many things did I do for the video letters about video games, you know? Like, man. For those who just walked in, say hello to Jason in the chat there, in the YouTube chat, who is the Jason of Multimedia Chronicles Retro Frame. Yes, he does exist. I did get your message, like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, and I kept meaning to respond, but as you correctly surmised, I've been, like, crazy busy this month with Halloween and everything, and also having no internet for, like, 2 weeks, because we fell behind on the bills, and, yeah, good time. Yeah, I remember last time Jason and I spoke, for those of you curious, we were talking about the possibility of doing some kind of podcast thing. And I think that would be fun. I think we should totally, like, seriously talk about doing that. Because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff we could talk about. I mean, obviously all the retro stuff, which people love. But also, you know, gaming and video production and movies and Beavis and Butthead and whatever else. Oh, see Ninkyo, you're one of the. Well, the funny thing is, like, a lot of people discovered my channel through my original Dead Space playthrough, and so I thought, okay, gaming, that's where it's at. And if you go back and look at the views on those old videos, it's ridiculous. Like, just tens of thousands of views on all of them. And so I was like, okay, more games. And then the views have just gone down and down and down. Like, I don't know. Oh, yeah, we could definitely do some reminiscencing. And let the world in on some of our inside jokes and so forth. Oh, there you go. See, Platypus found it through the Dead Space stuff. This is frickin' perfect. Like, I'm actually quite pleased with how this turned out. This was, it was an outside round roast that was on sale. I've taken to doing that more lately. Instead of just getting steaks, get a roast of whatever. Because they have, like, all the cuts of steak you like, they have roast versions of those as well. So just pick whichever one you want. Whichever one's on sale. And get that. Save some money. And cut it up your own damn self. Make your steaks as thick as you want. So this is just a small roast. I got like 6 steaks about this size from it. That's some good eating. And I think this will go very nicely with the edibles. Oh, I should cut another piece of steak before I prepare the mushrooms to have with it. I think this will go very nicely with the edibles that I just took. Oh, and speak of the devil, Rosie just walked in. Well, you're lucky. I just finished it, so there's still some left if you're hungry. Really? I thought you would be full on lasagna.
No.
Did you not have lasagna?
No, I did.
Oh.
We had it like 4 hours ago.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Well, is this Scully? Says Derek and I keep going back and forth with buying a quarter or half a cow. Yeah, no, that's actually a really good idea. Get yourself like a big ass freezer for it. A big ass freezer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, Jason, if you're still there, you got to get on the Discord. You got to get on my Discord, dude. And we can keep in closer touch there, I think. I do a lot of activities there. It's basically a central hub for my online community. But we do a lot of... No, definitely not vegan friendly. Unless we're eating them. I mean, hey, vegans are grain fed, right? That's got to be good eating. But yeah, hold on a second. We should have a link. You literally just have to create a login. It's all free. There are paid features you can get, but they're not required. There it is. Thanks, Carlatin. Let me grab that, and I'll toss it in the YouTube chat here. Give me a second. Hold on! I'm getting there! Jeez, man! I should turn monetization on, eh? I keep forgetting to do that. Got to manually do that with YouTube. It doesn't let me do it as far as the... It's already, like, limiting my ads. Why? Is it because I said fuck? Well, fuck you. You can watch this whole fucking thing and determine for your own fucking selves if it's fucking appropriate for fucking ads. Here's what I don't get about that. They say, oh, it's not appropriate for all advertisers. Okay, YouTube. Then why do you still have ads running on it? How come you're allowed to make money off my cuss-laden video, but I can't? Huh? Want to explain that to me? How about I get those advertisers that you're using that are okay with me saying fuck? How about that? A lot of hypocrisy. A lot of hypocrisy in this bid. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, go to the chat. There's a little mini rant for you.
Eve Online.
Fuck off, Eve Online. There. Okay. Sorry that took 8 billion years.
There's a little mini steak.
Yes, there was a little mini steak. It was the tail end of the...
It's cute.
Of the thing.
Just like you.
Aw, thank you. Hey, that's my line. But I don't mind. You can use it. Yeah, any of you want to feel old? Rosie just turned 16 in August. Yeah. And she's getting her license tomorrow. Which reminds me, I might be late tomorrow as well because I've got to go with her apparently because she's only 16. It's like, well, I'm not going to be with her constantly. Yes, she has my permission. Can I go now?
I think it's not like it's like a 35 long minute test max.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not that long.
Just the written, I'm guessing.
Online.
Oh, online. Well, do you even have to go there physically?
Yeah, you do because you do it in a computer at the ICBC place. Like they have a
okay
system But yeah, I think you would just like sit and wait, and then we'd go home.
Cool. I'll bring my book. I'm reading a Doctor Who book for Halloween.
I've been studying the shit out of the handbook and the practice test all day.
Good.
Yeah, I got 100 on the practice test, so I said it should be okay for tomorrow.
Awesome. I'm sure you'll do fine.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff is pretty common sense, I think.
Yeah, just like, don't drink and drive.
Should
If you're angry, pull over. Like, it's so fucking easy, most of it.
you drink and drive? A, yes, absolutely. Bottoms up. Or three, or C, or B, I can alphabet. No. That would be bad.
And the thing is like, a lot of the road signs are really obvious too.
Yeah.
And I know all the bike hand signals.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's because I'm showing my meat.
And
Everyone, behold the gloriousness of my meat.
a lot of the right answers on the practice test anyway have like way more writing than the wrong answers. Like, they're either really obvious right answers, or they go into so much depth that they're obviously the right answer.
Gotcha. Mario says, I love the new rant vids. Yes. Apparently a lot of people did, and they really want me to do more, so...
Rant vids are great.
Who am I to argue with the will of the people?
The Vant rids.
So, there will be more rant vids coming. I actually have one kind of Halloween-themed planned. Kind of a similar subject, talking about an upcoming release that is less than it should be. Keep an eye. Yeah, everybody just go for the old Shout Factory set if you can find it. Or if you just want to watch the show, it's for free right now. It's free right now on Wild Brain's YouTube channel. And that YouTube version is actually better quality than the DVDs. The new DVDs, that is. The old DVDs are fantastic. I'm going to need more mushrooms. But first, I'm going to have some potato.
There's no potato left?
There's 2 in the oven.
Oh.
Go get one.
I didn't know that.
Go get one. You can't just have steak. You got to have something with it.
Yeah.
Go get one.
I'm going.
Go. Go. Hurry. I am seeing the Twitch comments. I just wasn't seeing them at that moment because I was...
Can you butter it?
Yeah, fine. Just bring it over with the stuff because I'm not moving.
Oh, church having a big poop.
Good. Latin says, yeah, because you can be prone to cheating when it's at home. Never knew that she was taking thingies in the 8 billion years. It's older than the internet. I wonder how many people are going to be talking in the Facebook and Twitter chats. There was a couple the other day. Not very many, but, I mean, there's a couple. But, yeah, generally, if you guys want to chat, YouTube and Twitch are the places to be.
Meh.
Well, all right.
Is the multi-streaming going good?
Yes. We're literally just talking about it.
That's good.
But yeah, it's just a little tricky to keep track of all the chats sometimes. I'm getting it. Okay. Thank you. This is olive oil based margarine. This is a butter knife. So we just
Can you not say the word on stream?
what, knife?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say it.
Oh.
I don't give a shit about any of that. If they want to censor me, they can censor me.
Oh.
Like people censor like words like murder and death and kill. And I don't know why. I mean, if you were talking about a story where someone got murdered, killed, and died, then I would think you could use the words murder, death, and kill in that context. So if you're doing it as a threat to somebody, I mean, that's obviously something else. But
Something
and there are
else.
deeper issues beyond simply the words being used that
Yeah.
should be addressed. So I think all that censorship nonsense is stupid. I see people as like they'll say killed in the dialogue, but then the caption will say unalived. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah.
Come on. Here, take this. Take this. Unalived. So killed then. Murdered. Made to be dead. Got it.
No, you can't say that.
Mm-hmm. Like, what is this, 80s afternoon cartoons? Come on.
Did you make the tikka masala?
No.
Oh.
I'll make it tomorrow.
Okay.
What? Am I talking about YouTube or Facebook stream in terms of being said? I'm just talking about the internet in general. So, like, content in general. I've noticed this as a trend over the past, I don't know, year or so, probably longer, where people are just really paranoid about saying the wrong things. And, yeah, like that. Twitch, purple for regalness, yes. YouTube is going all 4 kids. Yeah, basically. I mean, I have all my stuff marked as not for kids. It's even manually written in the description. This video not intended for viewers age 13 or under, or only for 13 and over, whatever, because that's like the threshold. But yeah, it's just silly. Silly. I guess I will have to get up because I need more mushrooms. First world problems, eh? Mm. I have seen it on TikTok quite a bit, yeah. Does TikTok have like an official policy on that, or are people just paranoid? Well, I hate the fact that it kind of compromises the self-help channels, ones that are, there for people who are depressed or suicidal or whatever, and to talk about their own experiences or whatever. Yeah, killed and death is unalive. Mm-hmm. Oh, God, Toastman, don't even get me started. He says, but you're talking about cartoons, and cartoons are for kids. Well, and the number of people on that Sonic rant that just didn't get it. Like, you're just an old man ranting about some 30-year-old cartoons. Nobody cares. It's like, well, actually, look at how many positive responses there are in this comment section versus your one negative comment. I beg to differ. JL. Thanks, JL. I don't know why the super chats aren't showing on the screen. Paramount Plus has all the Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I think I knew about that. Actually, speaking of which, one that people have been wanting me to do a rant video about is the TMNT 2003 DVD release. I do not have it, so I can't look at it myself, but I have seen a few clips. There's quite a few instances of censorship in that, apparently, where they cut stuff out that was originally televised, some of the more violent scenes. And it's like, really? That's not cool. I'm not just talking about Turtles Forever. I'm talking about just the show, the regular episodes of the show. So I need to find more examples, clips, and or screenshots, and maybe some anecdotal stuff, so I can properly dive into it. Because I just don't have enough information to go on right now. I need to have a little bit more meaty information if I'm going to do a rant video. And as much as everyone's saying, it sucks, it sucks, it sucks. Okay, how does it suck? What sucks about it? I need information. You know, I need specifics. Which Halloween Town movie is my favorite? So which movie of those movies I've never seen even once in my entire life is my favorite? No idea. The first one, probably. I don't know. Actually, I thought Halloween Town 15 was really good. I love the part where the killer ripped that guy's nutsack off and then beat him over the head with it. That part was great in Halloween Town 15. Yeah, I've never seen any of them, so I don't know. 87 Turtles has 2 seasons currently on Paramount Plus. Cool. I have them all on DVD, so honestly, I don't care what's on streaming. It is of no difference to me. We are physical media people here. We don't really give a shit about streaming very much, unless it's something that's only on streaming, obviously. Like, for example, I've been watching some of the horror stuff on Netflix and Prime this season because it's not available any other way. So I watched The Midnight Club, really liked that one. Just finished watching Fear Street for the first time the other day. Really enjoyed that one. What else am I watching? I just started House of Usher. Just started, like literally only 15 minutes into the first episode. So, yeah. Oh, it says Kevin says, while chatting, I am, as of right now, watching one of the classic monster movies in the classic monster collection I have. Who wants to guess which monster movie I'm watching? Bride of Frankenstein. That's my guess. Bride of Frankenstein, because you can never go wrong with that one. There's just so much to love about it, honestly. I'll be right back. I'm just going to get some more mushrooms for this absolutely perfect frickin' steak. Okay, I'll be right back. How's everything? Yum. Yum, yum, yum. Mushrooms. Sorry, Sean, I watched that recently, so unfortunately, that's not the one. The correct answer is... I just assumed it would be one of the top 8, and usually that's the pretty safe go-to. My first guess was going to be The Invisible Man. We'll see. It's another one that's great. Rosie and I love that one. Oh, you're way at the other end. I was looking at the wrong end of the thing. Revenge of the Creature. That's the second Creature from the Black Lagoon. I have not seen those in quite some time. I need to rewatch. I actually need to finish my review series about those. Got about halfway through. Did most of the main ones, but still quite a few I have left to do. I still got to finish the rest of the Invisible Mans. I got to do all 3 creatures. Got to do the Wolfman and the Monster Mash trilogy. I got the last couple of Mummy films to do. So yeah, I know it seems like I've forgotten sometimes because it takes me so long to get them done, but don't worry, I haven't forgotten. It's just been a rough couple of years, so I haven't felt much like doing movie review videos. Mm. Mm. Oh yeah, I love that new one, the new Invisible Man. That one I did see. It's like I thought Blumhouse was just going to get the monster verse or the dark universe, whatever they're calling it. Oh, okay. Thanks, Gridman. He says he found a video about the 2K3 issues. I did come across a couple of things on Twitter. There was one that showed an instance of censorship, showed the original versus the new set. I can take a bit of a hit on quality as long as the thing is uncut. But when they start messing with the content and censoring it, that's a big no-no in my book. You don't do that. That's rewriting history. Oh, it's by the guy who did the upscale. All right, I'll have to check that out. Oh, and some of those upscales can be hit or miss. Some people get a little too trigger happy with the DNR feature. And then, oh, great, look at this wonderful 8K smear fest. Amazing. This is a potato, by the way, for those wondering. It came in late. With a baked potato, I just kind of cut it in half and then smush it. And then, there we go. Well, you can see the skin underneath. So, it's good stuff. They're russet potatoes, but kind of thin-skinned russet potatoes. Normally, they're not. Normally, they have thicker skin than that. But very tasty. TMNT 2K3. It might have been edited digitally. I don't know if it was like drawn digitally. He's saying I think 2K3 was all digital animation. I think it was censored specifically for this set because, to my knowledge, all of the old DVD releases were uncensored. That's what I have. I have the old releases. I never got the ones they put out for seasons 3 and 4, though. Those were a fucking mess. Episodes out of order all over the place. Across, like, multiple single disc releases. And then a season 4 set that wasn't even all of season 4. It was just the episodes they hadn't released yet. Smushed together into a set. But then they finally started doing proper season sets. They did seasons 1, 2, 5, and 6, but never did the ones in the middle or the last season. They edited a scene out of the French Connection? Wow. The only issue, I mean, it's rare that I disagree with a director's creative choice, but the original Blu-ray release of The French Connection was apparently awful and had this new color timing that was kind of washed out and supposed to be like black and white. And that was all supervised and approved by William Friedkin. And everybody was like, wow, this looks like shit. Can we just have the theatrical version, please? And then they did a re-release that I think included both versions. Kind of like with the 1979 Dracula, how in theaters it was in like bright, vibrant Technicolor, but the director, John Badham, I want to say. I don't know if that's right. Anyway, the director of that one preferred a more desaturated color palette. So all the home video releases had it with this muted color palette, almost black and white, like very washed out, or very desaturated, as the term is. And it's all right. I can see what they're going for. I don't think it really works though. Plus, I mean, the visuals in that. Oh my fucking god! What is he doing? Hey, cat's getting into something. What are you doing? Oh, you're playing with that. Well, you don't want to play with that either. That's Mommy's project. You get off of there. That's not a toy for you. That's Mommy's project. Okay, leave that alone. Hold on. Just leave it. Never mind. Leave it. Okay. I put your project in between the frame and the poster.
Okay.
It's sandwiched in between, if you're wondering where it went. Get cats, they said. They'll help you relax, they said. Yes. Correct, Clown. He says, hint, they don't help you relax 90% of the time. You know, you're not chasing them away from something you don't want them getting into, or stopping them from scratching your furniture and walls and doors and carpets and everything to death. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, and you haven't seen the Halloween set this year because the cats basically ripped it to shreds. I managed to salvage some of it, but I've just been too depressed looking at it to even want to attempt to clean it up to some kind of presentable state. Well, they shredded a good chunk of the dungeon wall, which is kind of important. That occurred to me as well, Sanity Impaired Toastman. He says, just occurred to me now that you got a PS5 and therefore a 4K player, you can finally get the 4K release of Predator and American Psycho, which got the same treatment. Terrible Blu-ray, but apparently excellent 4K. So yeah, those two are definitely on the list. Sam the Skeleton got a puncture. We were talking about the inflatable one. Oh, you haven't seen the Spanish version, Ninko, of Dracula? Yeah, you definitely got to check that out. It is definitely worth seeing. Because the thing is with Dracula, and I think I mentioned this in my reviews, in the Todd Browning version, he was, well, to put it bluntly, kind of a raging alcoholic and was having a lot of personal problems at the time when they did the movie. And as such, he was very brutal about literally tearing pages out of the script as they were filming. He's like, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this. So what you actually see on the screen, you'll notice there's a few little plot holes in it as well. That's because pages were literally ripped out of the script that would have resolved those plot threads. Such as what the fuck ever happens to Lucy in the English version. We never find out. She just kind of disappears after a while. Well, no. If you read the book or seen pretty much any other version of Dracula, you know there's, a scene where Van Helsing and Harker or whoever go off to her crypt and kill her. Like, they chase her down and kill her. Well, the Spanish version used the same script. It's exactly the same script, just in Spanish. And in the Spanish version, they didn't cut a damn thing out. They left everything in. So it's like seeing an extended director's cut version of the story. Like, you suddenly, all these plot holes are filled in, and it just makes so much more sense. There's a few scenes that play out a lot differently, but most of them play out pretty much the same. But also the Spanish version does more kind of sweeping, dynamic, dramatic camera moves and such. They were a lot more experimental than the American crew was. So visually, it's a really interesting film too. I actually really like it a lot. So yeah, check it out sometime. Do a double bill. Watch both of them back to back. The American one's short. They only filmed like half the script. But yeah, do that. Then, of course, having seen both versions back to back, they're both very fresh in your minds. You'll be able to pick up on a lot of the similarities and differences. Well, I have a plastic skeleton. Have you not seen it? It has been in many Halloween videos. It's like a person-sized skeleton. A short person, but a person nonetheless. And that is correct, Sandy and Pear Toast Man. Both versions do actually predate the Hays Code. When did the Hays Code come into effect? It was like 1936, I think. So there was like 5 years of just rampant immorality in movies. As I choked to death. Sounded like I was turning into Kermit the Frog there. Heidi-ho! Kermit the Groff here. Yeah. I just want my Kermit the Frog t-shirt! Here we go. This is it, right? It says Kermit the Gorf! You remember that one? And all those monsters came in, and all the monsters had the fake names. Hi, I'm Kermit the Gorf. You got my Kermit the Gorf t-shirt? Just one after the other. Poor Kermit. Just never catch a break. Holy moly, 38 people watching. See, we never got these kind of numbers, and we were just on one place. So huge thanks to the streaming gods for opening up the heavens so I can do my thing for everyone everywhere all at once. That's a movie I still need to see. Everything Everywhere All at Once. I've heard it's fantastic. Yes, Bort. That's right, Bort Simpson. That was basically the same joke, done Simpson style. I love it. The Hays Code is named after is Catholic. Oh, well, it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, you know, Up in Arms. Excuse me. Up in Arms church groups about the rampant immorality of Hollywood. They must be stopped. Won't someone think of the children? Yeah. Too bad the YouTube crowd are only doing that. Well, I mean, that's okay. I don't mind. It's still something. It's still some money in my pocket, you know? So. So what was this here? Read a news post stating that the show wants to do more animation for that and other for Doctor Who. Yeah. And other stories. I hope that does happen. This way, the classics here. Yeah, I think I read the same one as the Radio Times article, right? And they were talking to one of the producers of the animations, I think. And that's what he was saying, was that ideally they'd like to animate all of the missing episodes. It's just and they do have more funding now, apparently. So one thing he was saying, like more funding than they used to. So budgetary constraints might not be such a deciding factor going forward, I'm hoping, and maybe they can tackle some of those more challenging and potentially more expensive stories. I remember that was one reason they didn't do the 2 episodes of the Crusade, was because they said there was just too many elements to animate if they're only going to be doing 2 episodes. Like just a lot of characters, a lot of locations, things like that. And in animation, you got to create all that, right? So that was their argument, was that there was just too much stuff that would need to be animated. And considering what a, let's face it, pretty niche release that's going to be, they didn't quite have the incentive to do it, which is why we got the season 2 set with every means under the sun of watching those 2 episodes. You can listen to the clean audio track. You can listen to the audio track with narration. You can watch it with a photo snap reconstruction. You can have it with or without linking narration by William Russell in character as Ian Chesterton. I mean, it's great. There's a million ways you can watch it, but it still would have been nice to have those 2 episodes animated, especially considering, you know, that's the only 2 missing episodes of the series. Is there even any other missing ones in there? Like, or were those the only 2? Yeah, those were the only 2. Oh, well, there was the Time Mother. I remember had some footage missing for a while, but I think that's all been restored since, or most of it has anyway. But literally the only 2 stinking missing episodes in that season. Like, so. Yeah. But must have set. What's that? I have one of the Steelbook Blu-ray releases on my shelf. I have to check if that version is on there. I don't know what you were referring to, Mario. The version. Oh, and sorry, Kevin. I just saw you were saying the version you always watch of Dracula is the one that has almost no music. Yes. Do you know the reason for that? The reason was that's a very early sound picture. I think this is something people forget. In 1931, sound had barely just started. Like, I think it had been around for like a year in any kind of real capacity, if even that long. So the movie studio had it in their heads that you could only have music in a scene if there was a visible source for the music. Like if the characters are watching an orchestra play some music or something. They said if you have music with no discernible source, it's going to confuse the audience. That was their whole idea with incidental music, was it would confuse the audience. And which is hilarious because like barely a year later they're like, you know what, forget all that, just put music in it, it's better with music. And then, you know, I think 1933 was when we started to see movies more regularly have full scores, even when there wasn't an orchestra visibly present. You know, oh, it's so confusing when that happens. But yeah, that said, that's the version I always watch too. I actually, I don't think I've watched the Philip Glass version yet. And I love Philip Glass. I think he's a terrific composer. And I mean, if you're going to get somebody to do like, you know, music for a kind of silent film, Philip Glass is a good way to go with his minimalist style, but, you know, can evoke a lot of emotion from that. I think he's a terrific composer. But but I've never actually watched that version all the way through because for me, just because of how I'm accustomed to viewing Dracula, music is actually a distraction. I find it distracting to me, you know. So it's just one of those things. Same with the first Frankenstein as well, is like that. It only has the music at the beginning and the end titles, and then you know, and the rest is just dialogue, you know. But it gives you Three Stooges vibes because it's musicless. That's interesting. But didn't Three Stooges have a lot of music though? I always thought they did, like kind of the almost cartoon music, but you know. Mishima, I have not heard that one. The one that I always think of, well, two actually, is for Philip Glass. Other than that scene in South Park, the non-denominational generic Christmas or whatever. Other than that, which was brilliant, Kundun, which was the story of the Dalai Lama, and Koyaanisqatsi. That was the one. Yeah, the one that's all like imagery based and no dialogue at all. It's yeah. There was a film called Baraka that did the same thing that got way more press. Koyaanisqatsi is the better movie, and it's actually a trilogy. I still have to see the third one. I think I've seen the first two. But yeah, Koyaanisqatsi is definitely worth checking out. Criterion put out a collection of the trilogy a while back. I keep meaning to pick it up, but oh, and by the way, sorry, you were asking how did I get the Seventh Doctor himself to introduce some Multimedia Chronicles videos? Well, the answer is I didn't. That was actually Michael the Collector. That was a very special gift from him. I think it was around the time of my birthday. It was like a birthday present. So he was at a convention where he got to meet Sylvester. And for, I don't know, $100 or $50 or something, you could have him do a little promo for you. So he said he was going to do, you could get an audio one or a video one. He wanted to get the video one, but said it was just way out of his budget. So he just went with the audio. And I'm like, don't worry about it. I can find a picture of him. It's fine. But you can imagine like my reaction when I first heard that when he sent me the clip. He's like, here, I got, just listen to this. I'm like, oh my God. Like the Seventh Doctor himself introing the Multimedia Chronicles and messing up the line and covering it up in just the most Sylvester way, which was wonderful. It was so perfect. I'm like, this is perfect. I mean, I have bloopers in my videos all the time. So how appropriate is it that I have one of my favorite doctors do a blooper-filled promo for the show, So that was a nice treat. So needless to say, I wanted to use it in a bunch of videos. So I wanted to really make sure that you guys got to hear it as well. So, yeah. But, yeah, Marriage Calhoun is asking, Amarich Calhoun is saying something not chill, but a little spooky. What do you think about An Unearthly Child story not being available to stream overseas soon? Sorry if you already talked about it. Yeah, the whole Steph Coburn thing. Basically, Anthony Coburn's son is kind of nuts, apparently, and has very deliberately, very intentionally chosen right now, the time of the 60th anniversary, like a month before, no less, to basically it is kind of sort of suing the BBC over ownership of An Unearthly Child, the very first story of Doctor Who, which of course, in a big anniversary year, a lot of people are going to want to see that story. A lot of new fans and old fans are going to want to see it or for the first time or rewatch it to celebrate the anniversary or whatever. And he knows that, and he is taking advantage of that deliberately, intentionally, to basically hold the story for ransom until he squeezes whatever he's trying to squeeze out of the BBC. So the whole thing is just really, really slimy. So I've been following it, needless to say. We've talked about it a little bit on the Discord. We have a Doctor Who board there. Surprise. By the way, if any of you aren't on the Discord, get your butts over to the Discord. We talk a lot of geeky shit over there. And also, if I've disappeared off the face of the earth, that's the first place you'll be able to find out why. Also post all my content there. So whatever I'm doing, it gets posted there. So never miss a thing. You don't want to miss all those Fortnite videos. I know how much all you guys love those. I actually do find the disproportionate rage some people leave in the comments towards some of those videos uh, kind of hilarious. Just how over the top and entitled it is. This isn't what I subscribed to you for. It's like, well, I'm sorry that I do things other than whatever the one thing you subscribe to me for is. Like that. That sounds like a you problem. Maybe you should have, read the contents on the package before you bought the book. I don't know. That's right. I knew I'd seen his name somewhere recently. Michael just reminded me. Philip Glass scored the first two Candyman films. Funny that he actually hated Candyman, but he unironically said, "When my vengeance is complete." Okay. I don't know if that was the conclusion to that other thing. But anyway, yeah, because I just recently saw the first Candyman for the first time. Fucking loved it too. I was expecting just another character killer movie, which was quite common at the time. I figured, another Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy wannabe thing. Okay, let's check this one out. But it had so much more depth to it than what I was expecting, and social commentary and stuff. I'm like, wow, this is so much more than your average horror movie. So yeah, anyway, really, really loved it. Tony Todd, fantastic. Also, one of the nicest guys in the world. I've been following his Twitter for quite a while, and he's just so sweet to the fans. But and just a cool, funny, oddball guy. I've enjoyed his Twitter. But anyway, loved Candyman. I still have to see the two sequels. I have them all, but I just haven't got around to watching the rest of them yet. And I think when I do, I'm going to actually just rewatch the first one again because it was just so damn good. Oh, okay. Yeah. Amarich Calhoun says, I just recently watched the first stories on the beginning DVD. They're amazing. Oh, I love that first batch, that first block of 13. That's really the beginning of the beginning right there. Those first 13 episodes. I had to close my living room windows from all the screaming in an unearthly child. Scariest thing I've seen all month. Yes. Well, the first episode of that in particular, of An Unearthly Child, I mean, no Doctor Who fan will dispute, is some top-notch science fiction. It really has this kind of mysterious, sinister vibe about it, and just a wonderful air of mystery, and which goes right up to the end of the episode. I mean, and it's just so well done on all points, them working with so little in terms of their that tiny little closet of a studio they were in at the time. Was it Studio D, the infamous Studio D, I think it was. But and just the creativity and the main cast, almost instantly having this wonderful chemistry. And it's great. I mean, if it had only run that 1 year, we still would have had a very entertaining, very solid science fiction serial. If that had been it, they did their 52 episodes and that was it. It was done. I mean, I think it would still have a fan base, honestly. It wouldn't be anything like it is now, obviously. It just couldn't be. But it would have, a loyal, dedicated fan base determined to show as many people as possible this quirky little one-season wonder from the BBC in the 60s of sci-fi goodness, But that's an alternate timeline. Thankfully, we're not in that universe, and we are now celebrating the 60th anniversary. And this little shit, greedy, apparently quite racist and homophobic upstart is looking to cash in on his father's past success and make some quick money and just ruin everybody's fun for the sake of greed. And yes, Toastman. Greed is why we can't have nice things. But fortunately, funny enough, the week that sort of broke out, and I remember Ian Levine was actually trending on Twitter for like 2 days. It was crazy. So, I mean, as soon as I saw Ian Levine trending, I had to see what the hell was going on. I'm like, oh God, what did Ian do? Because anyone who knows anything about Ian Levine will know he's a bit of a character. But, so it was him getting into it with Steph Coburn. So like, oh my God, grab the popcorn. I want to watch this fight. So, yeah. So we had Ian Levine in just a knockdown, drag out fight on Twitter for like a day and a half, just laying into each other. The most ridiculous insults back and forth, and just lots of capital letters and caps lock yelling at each other. And it was just nuts. So that was where I first heard about that whole thing, and I've been following it on and off ever since. But the one funny part about that is I think it was the next day after that whole like Twitter explosion, on Amazon UK, sales of the beginning DVD set apparently skyrocketed. So everybody was rushing out to buy the DVDs lest they should never be able to see them again. So good on you, fans. Good on you, Doctor Who fans. Because there's you have no idea, how obsessive Doctor Who fans are about preserving everything now. And the reason is because of the goddamn missing episodes. We are so paranoid of anything happening to any of our Doctor Who media. There are backups upon backups upon backups of everything out there now. Some in the hands of private collectors, some in the hands of fans. But yeah. And you notice that around the time of the 20th anniversary, 1983, 5 Doctors, long lead, that was the big one. I think there has yet to be an anniversary celebration that's topped the 20th. And my understanding, there's quite a lot of stuff about that in the season 20 set. So pick that up if you haven't already. I was actually thinking of importing the limited edition because I really like it. But anyway, fuck, can't lose this train of thought. Nope, edibles have kicked in. I lost the train of thought. If anybody was following any of that, let me know where I left off because I got sidetracked. Oh, I remember what it was. It was around the time of the 20th anniversary where I first heard about all the missing episodes. And I had no idea until then that there were so many missing episodes. It seems to me that everybody kind of became hyper aware of that. And that seems to be where the obsessive keeping of everything started. Because if you look at the Blu-ray sets as an example, how many of the 80s episodes, from Tom Baker's last series until the end, okay? How much of the original studio footage and film footage still exists from that era versus the 70s or the 60s, it's an insane amount of material that's still original source material that still exists for all of those episodes compared to the other eras. So, so even on the BBC side, a BBC staff, fans working on the show, there was an effort to make sure that nothing was lost. Oh my God. Yes, this is the Doctor Who fans running around frantically to preserve everything they can, lest the other Steph Coburns of the world take it away from them, or try to. Oh, boy. Thank you, JL. The soundboard is on Twitch, by the way, for anyone who isn't there. I'm hoping there will be some way to make some more of the like interactive plugins universal across the platforms, but it really depends on how much they cooperate. Oh, God.
This guy says he's a Star Wars fan, but he doesn't even have the Ewok movies. Those are the best ones. How can you call yourself a real Star Wars fan if you don't have the original Ewok movies?
Well, first off, I do have the original Ewok movies. Second off, damn straight they're the best ones. Unbelievable. That was Stoudman, by the way, who popped in a few days ago to say hey and let us know he was still alive and doing well. He's still alive and he's doing well, by the way, if anyone was wondering. So, yes. Yeah, and what was it? There's, I think, Philip Morris, both Philip Morris and Ian Levine, both of whom I kind of trust on this subject, say that they are aware of at least a few of the missing episodes that are in the hands of private collectors. I think there's not a ton of them that they know. Maybe like six missing episodes, I think, between the two of them. And it's a case where, collectors just don't. It's a case of, oh, I have the only copy in existence of this thing. Well, that's kind of special. I'd like to keep it that way. Which I can understand from a collector's standpoint, having the only one in existence of a thing. But for fuck's sake, it's Doctor Who. You are depriving so many people of joy for the sake of your own ego. Surely you have other things in your collection that could fill that only one in existence void in your life. Just share the wealth. Share the joy. I don't know. The one that really pisses, everybody off is the may or may not have just been a rumor that they had actually found all 6 episodes of The Web of Fear. And just before Philip Morris could close the deal, some private collector swooped in and made them a deal for... Thank you. They swooped in and made a deal for, episode 2? The first appearance of the Brigadier. So that person knew that episode was the important one. First appearance ever of the Brigadier. Not first appearance of Nick Courtney, because that was back in the Dalek Master Plan, but first appearance of Nick Courtney as the Brigadier. So, Colonel at the time. But, yeah. So instead, we got that really weird mocapped version, which I admire the ambition of that, and the concept of it is sound. And parts of it weren't completely terrible, but, yeah. At least we have a photo snap reconstruction, right? Yes, very dramatic. Yeah, and by the way, you're giving much better value for both you and me using the soundboard instead of the other thing, just so you know. So, yeah. So I didn't really have any big plans for tonight. I wasn't going to film anything. My only plans were those of evil. Yes.
Will you please stop saying that?
Death Ray. Rest in peace, Ernest Borgnine. But, yes. What was I saying now? I don't remember what I was saying. See, it's been barely an hour. And, you know, what do I always say about edibles with protein? Yeah. Protein makes the edibles go.
Whee!
Yes. Edibles go. Brrr. Yes.
Are you getting tickets?
For what?
Coming with me tomorrow?
Sure. When?
3:10.
Well, I'll get them tomorrow. I'm in no condition to be in public right now.
Yes.
Other than here on the internet. Hello, internet. What's up?
I need to leave early tomorrow for my interview
Okay.
That's it.
at 11.
That's the connection.
Shit school.
Sorry, what? I had Eddie Valiant screaming at me. I'm not hallucinating. You heard it. You were there. Sorry, what?
My interview's at 11, so I'm leaving shortly before lunch would be at school.
Uh-huh.
And then catching a bus down to the place that my interview is at.
Oh, yeah, that. Oh, you got that tomorrow, too.
Yeah.
You got a busy day tomorrow.
And then,
Job interview.
yeah, and then I'm just gonna bus back here.
Okay.
And then if you're still asleep, I'll get your tickets.
Okay.
And then, at like 2, we'll catch a bus and go down
Yeah.
to ICBC.
All right. So I guess it'll be another late night stream tomorrow as well, guys.
Sorry.
That's all right.
But
Gotta
yeah,
do what you gotta do, right?
I'm very fucking busy tomorrow.
Yes.
And then Wednesday, I have my all-day Victoria trip for photography.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gone from 7:30 in the morning until 4 p.m.
Madness.
because we have to be in our photography class by 7:30 because we're leaving at 8.
Mm,
Which means I'm going to have to wake up at like 6.
the horror.
I used to wake up at 6.
Yes. You
But
did.
anyway, yeah, and then I'm going to be down at Royal Roads University until like 2,
Why-
3-ish.
Why are you telling the whole world your itinerary?
Anyway, so yeah, and then I'll be back around 4:35.
Uh-huh.
And then at 7:30, there's a youth group Halloween thing
Uh-huh.
until like 8:30.
Till 8:30. Okay.
And
Will you
then
please stop saying that?
okay, nothing Thursday.
What?
Friday is spaghetti dinner.
Did you get tickets for that?
Yeah,
Okay, because they emailed me about it.
yeah.
And
Sue's
said
mom paid for
Said
it.
it was sold out. Oh, they.
I mean, Tegan's mom paid for it.
Okay.
And then 28th is Caitlin's birthday party because they're born on Halloween.
Uh-huh.
29th is Tegan's grandma's crafts fair
Uh-huh.
at the golf course, and then nothing on the 30th, and then it's Halloween.
Uh-huh. And I'll be streaming here for
Woo!
all those times.
And that's why I can't start until the 1st
Can't start what? Oh,
Work.
you're right.
because of how fucking busy I am.
Gotcha.
Some of that I can cancel, but I just don't want her making me work on Halloween.
Well, of course not.
So
Should be a national holiday.
I know, right? Church is gonna fuck his pillow.
Well, that's fine. Have a good one, church.
Look at him.
Yes, I can see. I'm not blind. He's not exactly hidden from my vision here.
His
It's like
little thrusts.
talking about the cat. She finds it funny how the cat likes to hump his pillow. It's like, well, hey, we cut his balls off. We should be glad he's not trying to claw our eyeballs out instead. I think I'll take a little pillow humping action instead.
I can't.
It's like, stop watching me.
It's funny.
Oh, that's nice. Just see it one day. She'll walk in on her kid, you know, manipulating himself. She's like, ha, 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 ha. That's funny. Kid's traumatized for life.
Hi, Church. He's purring.
Well, yeah, he's like, has no shame. He's just getting his pillow on.
That used to be my favorite pillow.
Huh? Yes. Anyway.
Very horny cat, apparently.
Yes. You just want to see. Probably want to see the horny cat. Ugh. There's the horny cat. That's the pillow. He just needs the dough and just kind of slinks around and humps it a little bit. And oh, yeah. Well.
Man.
Today on Hinterland's Who's Who, the common black male house cat. In the absence of a mate, he'll hump anything he can.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
Have fun.
Yes. Wild Omaha's wild kingdom of wilderness. I have forgotten what that Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. That's what it was. Mutual of Omaha. So wait a minute. That was like a bank sponsored show, I guess. Mutual of Omaha. I don't know. See, that's much nicer. Now it just looks like my head is exploding. Ah! It's like scanners. Just like... Yeah, perfect. Who the fuck is calling me right now? Rose? Yeah.
Ew, I just stepped on the cum pillow.
Ugh. Well, it isn't anymore. He doesn't have balls. You got the snippity snip. Car warranty, yeah. Do. It got all quiet in the chat. Or did... Oh, wait a minute. Did I lose... Sometimes the Facebook, the YouTube one gets lost. Let me check here. Have I missed a shit ton of... Yep, I missed a whole bunch of chat, apparently. My apologies. I'm just going to scroll back and get caught. Fucking hell. Okay. Hold on, I'm going to pop this out. Yeah, there we go. So much evil.
Will you please stop saying that?
Okay, here we are. Yeah. Yeah. I missed a lot of chat. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize the multi-chat wasn't working. It needs to be refreshed periodically. Benny Hill. Yes. Were those episodes originally aired on PBS? Yes. For me. The Max Headroom incident occurred. Yeah, during the air. It was a Horror of Fang Rock episode. I remember that. That was one of them. There was actually two. There was two Max Headroom incidents. That was the longer one, though. They did another one. It was a test run using the same footage that interrupted something else before. But yeah, the Doctor Who one, that was the full incident. 69 minutes. Wait to get the special edition Web of Fear, even with the PS1 mocap animation. Its telesnap of that episode was a bit better than the previous DVDs. Okay, well, there you go. Excellent. And thank you, Mark Striano. I hope you are well as well. Making biscuits while also humping. That's some serious multitasking. I know. It's like Church is quite the talented kitty. Yeah, yes, narrating Church. Did I get... No, I did not get rid of my... I don't get rid of my consoles. I have all my consoles. The only console I ever got rid of, and I regretted it, was my Sega Genesis with Sega CD. That's it. That's the only one I've ever gotten rid of. I have every other console I've ever owned. They never did solve the mystery of that Mac. No, they didn't, actually. That Max Headroom said, do you think maybe it's better that way? I suppose. It's nice to have a little mystery in our lives, isn't it? PS Quintuple is backwards compatible with PS Quadruple, though. Yes, it is. Which is wonderful, because what it means is now Rosie can play her games on the PS4, and I can do my games whenever, or monitor the Twitch chat or whatever, anytime. And also play the higher quality PS5 versions for, to give you guys better quality for the stream. Make it the most prettiest. Yes. Speaking of which, I do have a bunch of games all ready to go on there that we could play at some point. But yeah, I like that it has that backwards compatibility. Quite handy. Handy dandy. There we go. You did the same thing in high school, Gridman? Got rid of your console? Yeah. I still have all the others, though. I've still got the ColecoVision with the Atari 2600 expansion module. I got my Panasonic 3DO. I got my PS2 Slim, my PS3 Fat, a broken PS3 Fat, PS4, and now PS5. So there you go. I have not played the Evil Dead or Texas Chainsaw Massacre games. The only sort of movie-based one I played was the Friday the 13th one when it was still in beta. Played that with a bunch of friends, and we had a good time with it. Funny enough, when I played that game was before I'd seen any of the movies. I have almost finished the movies, by the way. I did watch Jason Goes to Hell the other night. I'm gonna have to rewatch it though, because I was passing out, and I'm pretty sure I dreamed half the movie. So I don't know if what was in my dream was the good part that I enjoyed, or if it was actually in the movie or not. I don't know. I may have dreamed a better movie, or I may not have dreamt a better movie. I don't know. I'll have to rewatch it. But what I did remember watching, and I'm pretty sure it was real, I enjoyed. How's that for a review? So next up is Jason X, which I was going to watch last night, but I was just too damn tired. So maybe I'll watch that tonight if I'm not too damn tired again. And then, yeah, Jason X is one of the two remaining ones that I haven't seen. Oh, okay. And then then the last one I haven't seen is the 2009 remake, which I'm actually really looking forward to. It looks I did take a peek at the trailer and it looks freaking awesome actually. So, yeah, definitely look forward to checking that one out. I still remember the days when everyone said the PS3 was the most powerful console ever. People telling me the graphics were like real life. Well, I mean, it was the best around at the time. But I mean, I don't know. If you showed somebody a PS5 with real time ray tracing and everything compared to their in 4K compared to their 720p fucking person at the door, apparently. Yeah. I hear it over there, but you guys hear it on that side. But imagine you're hearing it from where I'm sitting, right? So for me, it's coming over there. So, yeah, it's quite a difference between the two. Curious to hear the review on Ghost of Hell. Well, my plan is I want to do reviews of the whole series. I've been taking notes and watching behind the scenes features and all kinds of stuff like that. Just kind of deep diving into that whole franchise, like every facet of it. Um, and I wanted to start those going on Friday the 13th of this month because, of course, we had a Friday the 13th in October. But the project quickly became larger than I had the time or energy to keep going with. So,
Did you hear that?
yes, I did. Thank you, JL. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, but I had an option of just kind of rushing the reviews out to get them out on time, or just chilling the fuck out and doing them the way I want to do them. So I opted for that option instead. So I can't guarantee they're going to come out this month or even this year. But no, it is a thing that is on the to-do list and that I'm actively doing prep work for. So I've actually done quite a bit of prep work for those. That's one of the reasons why I didn't get them done in time, because I realized, oh, wait a minute, I have some fun ideas for this. So we're going to take a little bit more time for them. So whenever those come out, I'm sure you will all enjoy them. And I'm also planning to do a revisit to Freddy vs. Jason, because when I did my original review of Freddy vs. Jason, it was before I had watched the Friday the 13th movies. I hadn't seen very many of them. I'd seen like 2 of them, I think. But so I thought it'd be interesting to revisit again, also because it's just a really fun movie and I love it. And kind of having that other side of the background, I guess. So I have the whole story now. So I have the Freddy story, and I got the Jason story. And there you go. So, yeah. Actually, just thinking about it now, I can already think of like 3 things that would be new and different from my previous review, just because of the having more context now. But anyway, stay tuned, true believers. My friend Matt Brunette. Oh, Nicholas, or the Nicholas Man, the Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage. Yeah. Oh, what was it you're talking about? You might want to check out the Nicolas Cage version that came out of which. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's. Right. Um, yeah, definitely. You're saying, Ninkyo, check out Willy's Wonderland. Yes, definitely check out Willy's Wonderland. That is such a fun movie. It's great. Love it. My personal recommendation is do a triple bill of um the Banana Splits movie, Willy's Wonderland, and then the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. There you go. There's your triple bill. And yeah, the whole thing about it being the movie being Five Nights at Freddy's being rated PG-13 instead of R. Okay, now remember, this is coming out from Blumhouse, right? They're no dummies about this stuff. They know the PG-13 is going to get more butts in seats in theaters, and it gives the teeny bopper crowd the opportunity to see the movie in some form, right? But then they released the unrated cut on home media. There you go. Like Megan, hello. About another kind of killer robot. That's exactly what they did. They released it PG-13 in the theaters to sell more tickets, and then, oh look, we're going to give you the unrated cut on Blu-ray, and that's what they did. So there you go. So it just means you can't see the unrated version on the big screen, I guess. So that's the one drawback. But I guarantee you there's going to be an unrated cut on home media of the Five Nights at Freddy's. Because they want it to be a hard R for gore and violence and disturbing imagery. So, yeah. The best and shortest? Well, I guess like the fewest movies, yeah. 7 movies versus 13 and 12. Yeah. So he just said binge watching all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies is the best and shortest out of the big 3 of Nightmare, Halloween, and Friday. Yeah, Nightmare has always been my favorite as well. Just I guess because he just has more character. Like Freddy has more character than, say, Michael or Jason, who are basically just sort of silent stalkers. But also just the whole thing of the dreams and the nightmare sequences and stuff like that. I just love the imagination that went into those. Like, I mean, they're like horror fantasy in a way, because they have those fantastical elements to them with the dream, all the dream stuff. And yeah, I like that. It's nothing personal, but watching a horror movie with blood and gore, I feel that it might make me sick to my stomach. I don't know. What kind of horror movies do you watch? Well, I know you watch the Universal ones. So what's your cutoff point, I guess? Because movies like horror movies in particular, started to get bloodier in the 60s. But in particular in the 70s, that's when they really kind of cut loose and where you got to see a lot more graphic violence. And then with the 80s was all about prosthetics and makeup effects, so they could do a lot more convincing blood and guts. Well, convincing at the time. By today's standards, maybe not as much, but I don't know. It depends. Do you have a cutoff point, like a cutoff sort of era that... Hmm. All the nightmare, yeah. Amaranth was just saying, I remember watching a video on your channel at one point where you explained watching all the Nightmare laser discs in one day. That's a lot more flipping discs than I did. Hey! Fuck's sake. Oh, weird. Anyway, it was actually over 2 days. It was 2 days. We did I think we did one, and then we did it again with the commentary. Then we did 2, and then we did 3. And neither of those had commentaries. And I think that was it for the first day. And then the next day we did 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 7 again with the commentary. So, yeah, each time we'd get to the end of one of the movies, and I'd just look over at my friend. I didn't even have to ask him. I was going to ask, like, do you want to go to the next one, or are you done? So I wouldn't even get the question out. I just look over at him, and he'd just say, I'm not a pussy. So, like, okay, put the next movie in. So, one of my Laserdisc regrets that I sold most of my Laserdiscs of those movies except for 1 and 7. I kept 1 and 7 because they were the ones with the extras. What I did not know at the time was that the extended cut of 5 no longer existed. I had the Laserdisc of that. And the only rip I've ever seen out there in the ether is from the VHS release. And I'm just thinking, like, well, fuck. I really wish I'd kept that, because I would have made a nice rip of it to help, do my part to help preserve some lost media, But, yeah, I didn't even know that had happened, that they lost the elements for the extended cut until years later. Actually, I think when I got the Blu-ray set, I was just reading about the different cuts. Is it just jump scares I can try to handle, and PG-13 or lower? Okay, well, there you go. So you'd probably be okay, like, with most 80s and earlier, I would guess, because the blood and guts isn't particularly realistic by today's standards, but we kind of love it nostalgically for what it is and what it gave to the makeup industry and effects industry in terms of innovation. But yeah. And yes, remote tripod. Yeah, there's apparently a big deluxe edition of Mario Brothers coming out in 4K. What the hell is going on? Church is like losing his mind. Alrighty, have a good night, Kevin. Thanks for coming out, dude. Guess that Laserdisc is going for a pretty penny. Probably, yeah. Rick Baker and Rob Bottin. Yeah, Rob Bottin just kind of disappeared. Which is, I'd say pretty on brand for Rob Bottin. He's a character. But yeah, I mean, it gets to the point. I mean, yeah, they got to retire sometime. I think the only one who keeps doing it is Tom Savini. He's just got such a passion for the art, I love that. I love that dedication. You're in the right career when, right? Well, is this that does suck about selling it. I seen a Japanese VHS of the unrated Nightmare 5 was cheaper on eBay than the American VHS, so I got that. Well, there you go. Yeah, because at the time they had started putting out nice widescreen editions of the Nightmare movies, but they only got as far as I think the first three. These were coming out from a company called Elite Entertainment. They were known at the time for doing some very nice, popular horror movie releases. They did a really nice edition of Evil Dead, one of the Evil Dead movies, apparently. But I think that was the one that had a blood red laser disc, actually, as well. So rather than being silver, it was like a reddish silver. So yeah, kind of neat. But anyway, the Elite version of Nightmare on Elm Street 1 was loaded with extras, and it was like far more than just what the others were, which was just widescreen with a trailer or something, right? So I just kept that one and I sold the rest. But I also kept 7 because it had a really good commentary on it by Wes Craven. And now, since then, all that material's been ported over to the Blu-rays. But, at the time, it was kind of cool, and the packaging was neat. I also kept Freddy's Dead, because at the time, it was the only way to get the 3D segment in 3D. Anaglyph 3D, but Anaglyph 3D in Laserdisc quality, so it was actually pretty damn good. Yeah. So anyway, kept that one. And those two came out kind of at the peak of Laserdiscs. They were already widescreen. So the only ones that didn't get sort of re-released in widescreen form, widescreen form, were 4 and 5. So we just had like the bog standard Laserdisc releases that came out at the time, like in the 80s. But of course, for 5, that meant it was the extended cut, because the original video release was only the extended cut. VHS and Laserdisc, the first release. It was just the extended cut. So, yeah. I think we all have those things from our collections that we sold or gave away or lost that we kick ourselves for having sold or gave away or lost. $130. Oh, you checked eBay for the Nightmare on Elm Street 5? The Laserdisc? The only one I could find, not even sure if it's the version you had, is $130. That's in freedom dollars, by the way. Yeah. As Ninkio says, I think Bottin and Baker were just fed up with CGI and studio interference. Baker has said as much regarding the Wolfman remake. Really interesting. I wonder if any of that is in the extras on there. Sometimes the studio lets things slip through. Because I do have the Blu-ray of that. I haven't got around to giving it a rewatch yet, though. See, once I finished the Universal Monsters stuff, one of the things I wanted to do was do a series reviewing the various aborted attempts to start a dark universe. There's been like 5 of them if you count Van Helsing. But so I thought that would be a fun one. But anyway, one of those obviously being the Wolfman. So there might be special features on the Blood Red Elite Evil Dead 2 that never jumped out of the Laserdisc era. Hopefully a brand new 4K could rectify that. Yeah, well, and I wonder also about the extras that are on that Nightmare on Elm Street edition I have. It's the big gatefold one. It's like a really, really nice one. But I remember it had like a shit ton of archival extras and like deleted footage and stuff like that. I don't know how much of that has made its way, to modern media. But really, that's interesting. Seeing the Dracula 92 4K and Ghostbusters 3 movie collection 4K set have special features that were not seen since the Laserdisc era. Well, that Ghostbusters set, which I'm happy to report I did finally get, there's going to be an unboxing and closer look very, very soon. That has a lot more extras than have ever been available before. Like, there's so much stuff. When I heard about the work print, like they have like the fucking work print of the original, I'm like, and the TV versions of both 1 and 2, which I'm sure are hilariously censored. I mean, that alone was like a huge selling point to me. So that's I'm just a sucker for like archival stuff like that. Like it's a snapshot of the time, and also like something like a work print, you're getting to kind of see a lot of the creative decisions in motion. Yeah, Minutia Minute was asking, what's the best attempt at the Dark Universe reboot they've done? I haven't seen all of them, so I can't say with absolute certainty. Michael the Collector says, I'd say Van Helsing, but even then, I debate calling it a good attempt. Yeah, I mean, I think Van Helsing... What the hell have I seen? I haven't seen Dracula Untold yet. I haven't seen The Mummy yet. I've seen Van Helsing several times. Well, a couple times. Well, once for sure. And I've seen The Invisible Man. Oh, and I've seen The Wolf Man. All right, so I guess there's just 2 that I haven't seen. I haven't seen Dracula Untold or The Mummy. Mission Impossible, The Mummy. What? Fuck you, Tom Cruise. You ruined that. You made it fail with the mighty power of your ego. So I'd say, Van Helsing also, probably from what I know and what I've seen. Just because it kind of came out of the gate running with like a cohesive universe that contained all of these different monsters. So if it had been done as, kind of the Justice League, like starting it like in reverse. So having it from starting with the Justice League and then splitting off into the individual stories, I kind of felt like that's what they were looking at doing. Kind of use that to introduce us to all these new takes on these classic monsters, and then it would spin off into, they'd all get their own movies after, and it would just kind of spiderweb out from there into this intricate network of interconnected universe films. But and they really pushed it too. Like they really gave it a lot of marketing at the time, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it just wasn't the right time for it or what, but it just didn't really click with the people that much. But But I thought it was fun. I mean, it was a fun idea, you know. I mean, who doesn't like the idea of Hugh Jackman as a kick butt Van Helsing? You know, I mean, come on. That's... So Sven says, hilarious how the 2016 film is kicked to the side in the Ghostbusters collections. Yeah, it's like treated as if it doesn't even exist. It's just another universe. Done. We don't need to ever speak of it again. Yeah, Michael says, I think it still would have failed even without Tom Cruise. Maybe it would have gotten one more film under its belt, but emphasis on the word maybe. Well, it's like I've always said. I think the big problem was you're taking the focus away from the monster. You know, anybody who's watched any of those Universal classics knows the star of the monster movie is the monster. You go to see the monster. It's not complicated. So the monster needs to be the focus. Also having another monster in the film. Like they should have another monster, like to kind of connect it together with whatever's next or whatever. I know they tried to do that with what was it? We had Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll, right? Which I actually really like. I really like that casting. And I'm kind of bummed that we're not going to get the Dr. Jekyll movie now with him, you know. uh, Another monster. I can't remember. That's the only one I can remember off the top of my head, and that's just because I saw the trailer a few times. I do like hot gothy mummy chick though, like hot damn. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. You're not alone. I know a lot of people liked that one. I know Alan Moore hated it as an adaptation of his comic, but I know a lot of people that enjoyed it. You know, as I recall, I think Annetta really liked that one. You know, my ex, Rosie's mom. Um, yeah, I think she was a big fan of that one. She had the DVD of it. Really liked it. I can't remember if we read any of the comics. She might have picked up a few of the comics. She was keen on that. She liked to check out the source material after seeing a movie. So Alan Moore hates every adaptation of his work, as far as I know. It certainly seems that way, doesn't it? Although he did leave his name on a couple of them. From Hell is one. He left his name on that one. Unless he just waited too long to tell them to take his name off it, and it was already too late. Which is also very possible. But Key and Peele meet Frankenstein. Like as a modern take on Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Yes, maybe. I think I mean, it's a case where I would love to see them just try to just repeat history with a bit of a modern twist on it, you know? Just give us the solo monster movies, give us the team up monster movies. And then you can have, you know, comedic duos of the day meet up with those monsters, you know? Just do the same goddamn thing you did 100 years ago, you know? Yeah. I don't know much about the behind the scenes of that. Michael was just saying, I know the crew who worked on League hated it, especially Sean Connery. In fact, he had such a miserable time on it that it made him lose his love of acting and retire. That sounds a little melodramatic to me, but Americh says the movie isn't the worst. It just sucks that Stephen Norrington didn't direct and Sean Connery didn't act afterward. Vermin Art, how's it going, dude? Says LXG was Sean Connery's last live action role. I think he had such a bad experience during and in the aftermath of that he decided to retire. I'm not sure if he did voice work after that. I seem to remember he might have done some voice work. Possibly. Or it might have just been an impersonator. Impersonator is a really hard word to say in Sean Connery. Impersonator. Impersonator. Oh, impersonator. But he was in Zardoz. That was a few weeks or so before League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Just a little bit before. I think Twilight Time put out a Blu-ray of that. I kept meaning to get it, but yeah. Need to get Outland. Yes. Anybody who doesn't have Outland, get Outland. It's good. Use my Amazon link, please, because that helps. A few skimpy suits before League. Yes. The decent Fox movie at the time had some pretty big summer blockbuster streaks. Outland is so good. It's definitely one of those hidden gems. It's so much more than just High Noon in space. That's part of it. But it's also just the atmosphere. It really feels like I like to kind of pair it up with Alien, actually, because it has the same kind of industrial, lived-in, blue-collar feel to it with this mining colony. It feels like something that was, this could be somewhere that Nostromo stopped by at some point, But, yeah, Vermin says, I like the theory it is set in the same universe as Alien. Yeah. Well, if you watch, especially if you watch the two of them back to back, they definitely feel like they could be the same universe. They both got that gritty, space truckers kind of vibe to them. But it's good stuff. I always love the the gritty visuals of both of those movies. It's just something, I don't know. I almost want to say something very tactile about it. Especially like the computers, those big chonky buttons. Love the big chonky buttons. It's all about the big chonky buttons. Green or orange text, that's right, yeah. On a black screen. Everything's like, if there are graphics at all on the screen, it's like vector line graphics. Yeah. Those were the days in the future. Yes. Which one hasn't had a release? Good morning, Duncan. It's fucking ray tracing when you have orange chonk font. Hell yeah. You preach it like it is, Vermin. Just gonna refresh the chat here, make sure we're not missing anybody. All right. Well, the cumulative view counter seems to be working pretty well too. This is nice. Nice to see numbers that aren't single digits for a change. Hey, how are y'all doing out there? So I'll speak up at once now. Did everyone stop talking? Oh, no, there we are. Duncan, good morning. Morning, Vermin. Morning, morning. Outland. Oh, Outland. Okay, it's 25 gig disc. Same disc in circulation since 2012. No new addition. Yeah. But I mean, it's fine, honestly. It's definitely a huge step up from the DVD, not just for being Blu-ray, but also because the DVD, at least to my eyes, had some mastering issues with the like the interlacing and stuff. It was just very stuttery and just terrible. Just an awful DVD. And then the Blu-ray came out, it was like a fucking revelation. I mean, not only did it have a gorgeous transfer, but no stuttering whatsoever. Just nice, clean picture. Well, clean, gritty picture because it has a really gritty kind of film stock. But I like it. It's good. Who here loves Bluey? Heard of him, never seen him. So can't say I have an opinion one way or the other. Although it seems once a generation there is a blue dog of some kind that comes to lead the youth to a greater age of prosperity. We have Bluey now. We had Blue's Clues, right? In my day, we had Huckleberry Hound. So, well, maybe that one where Clifford got into all of that blue paint. Sure, Vermin. Been watching my channel since December 2012. It is actually the first live stream I viewed. Oh, well, welcome to 2012, the year we thought we were all going to blow up. That was the doomsday year, apparently. I remember I advertised Halloween that year as being the last Halloween. And someone thought I was being serious. Like, oh, God, you don't actually believe that doomsday stuff, do you? Come on, man. I'm like, no, I thought it was a pretty obvious joke. But okay, no, don't. It's okay. Don't worry. The dog doesn't solve crimes, then I'm out. That's right. Random question you've probably answered before. What's the crown jewel of your collection? Inverse to that, your holy grail that you want to add to your collection. I swear someone asked me that like yesterday. Maybe it was you. I don't know. Crown jewel of my collection. I don't know if there's really just one, honestly, because there's been so many over the years. It's hard to say because I mean I have such an eclectic collection, right? So I'd say like for anime, probably my the Voltron tin sets, which I did some videos about a while ago. For cartoons, probably the Transformers Matrix set, the Invader Zim set. I'd say those are pretty crown jewelly. And there's quite a few in the horror section too. Just different collections like the Halloween collection. The Real Ghostbusters cartoon. Yeah, I did some videos about that one, the one with all the steel books. That's definitely a crown jewel. Yeah, Blade Runner, the Blade Runner briefcase set. That's definitely one. Yeah, there's a few. Not the new Sonic set. No. No. Now, what's funny is, not long after doing that video, I was watching some of the other Sonic things just to cleanse my eyeballs a bit. And one of the things I watched, of course, was a bunch of episodes of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, the wonderful SD on BD from Discotheque. It's great. I love it. It's fantastic. And then I wanted to check out more of Sonic Boom, the recent series. So pop open the Steelbook, the complete series set, which has the discs stacked in it. But pop it in the player, and off we go. And there's no more than like 10 episodes on a disc. Blu-ray, beautiful quality, and it's a fucking End Circle release. This is the same company, you know. So they did like 3 different releases of Sonic Boom. They did like a DVD. They did individual Blu-rays for each season, and then they did the complete series Steelbook set. So I don't know, like, yeah. Yes, exactly. Grant McClellan says, "I'd love to see Extreme Ghostbusters finally get a DVD release." Yes, it would be nice. I'm just happy to see that show getting more love nowadays. I remember when it came out originally, people didn't weren't too crazy about it. And that could be why it only ran one season. But in retrospect, the people looking back on it and such are discovering it for the first time now, have really been enjoying it. And I've been saying, that's what I'm saying. It's a great show. It was like a very worthy follow up to Real Ghostbusters. So, yeah. Cyber 6 coming to Blu-ray, eh? That'd be cool. The last Scream Factory release I picked up. I honestly don't know. It's been a while, honestly. Might be King Kong? 1976 King Kong? Or possibly one of the Hammers? I can't remember. I haven't bought any Scream Factory for quite a while. So, you kind of prefer it over the... Well, the thing about Extreme Ghostbusters is it was done almost 20 years after the real Ghostbusters. So they were able to... I guess some of the rules about kids' TV had loosened up a bit since then. So they were able to do things like they had much more mature storylines, I thought. And some of the terror was genuinely terrifying. um, I think they work as well as animated horror, like full on horror, um, sometimes as they do as comedy. But no, it's very well written. It's very well done, and I mean, to a modern viewer, I'm not surprised at all that you would lean more towards extreme over real, because real at the time, a lot of those laxing up of the rules that we enjoy now is largely thanks to shows like Real actually pushing the envelope as far as what they could get away with. So, um, so they pushed as hard as they could back then, and you know, yeah, in a lot of ways they succeeded and kind of got the ball rolling as far as where we are now, and shows like Extreme are possible. So he's interesting. Yeah, Men in Black. It's very much like that. What? Oh, yeah. I will be back. I need water, and I need to take my plate to the kitchen. Sure. Hold on, did I see the other chips over here? Probably like a decade ago. Yeah. Hold on. I found the other chips. Oh. Hello. So the chips that I found, the roast chicken Lays. There we go. We also have fries and gravy Lays. Um. Oh yes, Kylie Griffin is awesome. Of course, I love Kylie. She's the goth girl. Come on. Where do I find? Says as a fellow Canadian, where the heck do you find affordable deals on physical media, especially from the boutique labels? Sunrise Records is super overpriced. Amazon the same. Well, the simple answer to that is usually wait for things to go on sale. Look for deals. But it's all, I mean, honestly, almost always Amazon. You know, it's just waiting for a good deal to pop up on Amazon. Yeah. Ow. I remember one Halloween Future Shop just randomly got like 3 Scream Factory titles in.
You are so high.
And they were thank you. Anyway, and they were only like $17 a piece. These are like the collector's editions with the slipcovers. Yeah, what it was. There was 2. Maybe it was 2. One of them was Hell Night with Linda Blair. And the other one was one of the Living Dead movies. I can't remember. Land of the Dead? It might have been Land of the Dead. Yeah. I think it was Land of the Dead. Or Dawn of the Dead 2004. I don't know. Anyway, one of them. So like $17 just randomly. So of course, naturally, I bought both of them immediately. But not so much anymore. Well, yeah, but Ninkyo, we don't have Barnes & Noble here. That's not available in Canada. I mean, sure, they'll ship to Canada, but by the time you get through having to pay the shipping, and the import fees and the exchange rate, it ends up being basically what we pay here anyway. So there's no point. Excellent, Michael. Says, some good news on my end. I got a portable 14 terabyte drive, so it can store all my billions of porn videos motherfuckingly. And take them wherever you go. To share. What was this? Rob Barnes says, not that I mind in the least, but when I turned you on via YouTube, I got to watch a short ad for a movie, I think. So a woman was complaining that a ghost fucked my husband. Well, we got to find out what that movie is. For, you know, science. Well, take note of that. Ad comes on again. Write down what it is so we can all see it. Yeah, Vermin says, I can't remember the last time I downloaded porn. Although, a ghost fucked my husband sounds like my kind of thing. Ghost fuckers, yeah. This is the roast chicken flavor, by the way. It's really good. I'm no food reviewer. That's my review. It's really good. Mmm. That's really good. Welcome to my food review channel. Mmm. That's really good. I think I have the munchies. What do you guys think? Sounds like a Vinegar Syndrome title. Ghost fuckers! Well, true, Ghostbusters did have the scene. It is, yes. Miraculously, I didn't eat them all last night. I still have two different ones. Well, almost one. The Ruffles? Oh, I love Ruffles. Is that... does Lay's own them now? I thought that was a separate company. I guess it used to be. There's obviously some kind of big potato chip merger that happened over the years. This is the other one. Fries and gravy. Patate sauce. Yeah. Can't go wrong with some patate sauce. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Alas, I do not have a bag of Ruffles. What's going on over there? Ow. Herman says, sounds like what Mrs. Potato Head asked for in the bedroom from Mr. Potato Head. Some patate sauce. That conjured up so many images that I really hope don't have a Rule 34 page somewhere. And now Toy Story is ruined. Next week on Ruining It for Everybody. We will ruin ketchup for you. Oh, you don't think we can? I dare you to tune in then. Yeah, the barbecue chicken one is pretty tasty. Or roast chicken, whatever it was. This one doesn't say, oh, this is limited. Never mind. Here I was hoping fries and gravy were forever. See, I mean, come on, Lay's. Wouldn't that be a perfect sponsor? Or whatever. I'm keeping the logo visible and even the flavor at an interesting angle that draws the eye in and making yummy sounds as I'm eating your delicious chips. Let's make a deal. This one, this is 220 grams. Bet you can't eat just one. Oh, you're probably not wrong. Especially when I got the munchies. I can blow through a couple bags of, like this, of potato chips pretty quick. To be fair, there wasn't too much left in the other one. Mostly crumbs. Oh, yeah, Mike was just talking about, doesn't understand the hate Ghostbusters 2 got. I mean, will say I find the plot set out that they got thrown out of business along with Peter and Dana breaking up and starting from square one. Annoying. And Grant just says Ghostbusters 2 was one of those hard act to follow sequels, regardless of how it turned out. Yeah, pretty much. I still need to see the new one. I'm being a good boy, and I'm waiting until I unbox that set. But to be fair, all the significant things have long since been spoiled for me. I don't care. It just sounds like a wonderful nostalgia trip, as well as kind of a passing of the torch. Which I like that. I like that. I mean, there's the new one coming out, and we've got an animated film coming out. So it's cool. So they're finally doing what they originally had planned to do back when the Ghostbusters 2016 came out. But that one got such a massive backlash, it basically put all the plans on hold until things cooled down. That was the thing I was concerned about, Amaridge, was saying hopefully all those new Ghostbusters features are included in another set. That's why I was kind of freaking out, because I didn't get the set right away. And it became really hard to get all of a sudden. I really didn't want to miss out on those features, those special features. Having the movies in 4K was secondary to me. All that mattered to me was getting those special features, because I could get the movies anytime. Right. So it was about all about the special features for that. Yeah, same here, Hunter. Hunter just says, I was incredibly surprised how small the print we're on for that set was. I know, it sold out literally the day it was released. It was crazy. Yeah. No, I know what you mean, though, Grant. He says the 2016 movie was terrible, and not because it had women in it. No. Like, as far as the cast goes, I thought it was a great cast, you know. I haven't seen the movie. I've seen the trailers. I'm going by what I've seen in the trailers. I thought it was a great cast of, you know, some very funny ladies who are, you know, quite all at the top of their game right now. And I had no problem with that. Really, I think the issue I had with it was the issue everybody had with it, was that they were calling it a reboot. Don't call it a reboot, because Ghostbusters never needs to be rebooted. Just continue the legacy. You know, add to the universe. Don't try to restart it. So they just called it an alternate universe. Fine. I think just that one little change would have made all the difference in the world. Yeah. Boy, I'm definitely going to have to watch this now after these remarks here. Because if that was the case, I'd never have liked Kylie Griffin. Well, yeah, of course. Plus, let's face it, there's too much of this I hate this movie because women nonsense going. Yes, definitely. It's like almost comical by this point. Some of these complaints. Vermin says, Ghostbusters 2016, I had to force myself through. It was just so bad. It's just horrible, like, script and terrible improv-y jokes. Hunter says the 2016 movie was terrible because it didn't pay any attention to the original and then had the gall to use the originals in different roles. Berman says, I think you should try to watch it, Z, because you really don't get how bad it is from the trailers. Yeah. Emirates says, I seen a review of the Superman 4K set, and I wasn't as miffed missing out on the Steelbook set of that as much as I was missing out on the Ghostbusters set. Well, check around, because I got mine through a third-party seller on Amazon CA. And it was obviously a little more than list price, but it wasn't, like, extortionistically so. So, you might be able to find a good deal. Like I did. But expect to pay at least a couple $100 for it. Because, I mean, it retailed for like 160, so. So, yeah, actually, I think in Canada it was like 180. It was not a cheap set. Really, Dan also said we might be getting a Ghostbusters prequel series, sort of, focused on Ray, Dan, and Peter as high schoolers in the 50s. I see the point. The point is that could be hilarious. Have a lot of their early encounters where only Dan or only Ray ever sees it. So yeah, needless to say, I didn't want to miss out on that Ghostbusters set. The Hellraiser 4K. What's the difference between the limited and unlimited? Other than the cover art. Oh, so it's the packaging and the book. But the regular one does not have the book. I like the ones I've seen, Amarich. I've only seen the first one and the most recent one with the female Hell Priest. And I loved both of those. I thought they were great. You know, very different takes on a lot of the similar themes. But I really enjoyed both of them. I've not seen any of the others. That's one of my goals for sometime around this Halloween season. It might be a little after Halloween now. Is to watch all 10 of the Hellraiser movies from the original all the way through to the new one. And then probably do a review series of that too. New set has the work print version of Bloodline. That's pretty cool. Wow. Yeah, see, stuff like that is pure gold to me. Like with the Blade Runner set, how it had the work print. Wow, what a holy grail that was, let me tell you. Oh, seriously, Vermin? Vermin says we should do a Hellraiser watch through because I'm the same. Only the original and the new one are the ones I've seen. Oh, so literally the same ones. Well, shit. Yeah, there's been 10. over the years. Most of those are direct-to-video pieces of shit, apparently. That just makes me want to see them even more. You get to sort of see what the movie was going to look like before the Weinstein fuckery. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, see, I don't have any of the others. Other than online. Yeah, everybody tells me the second one is great, so I'm at least looking forward to that one. The Vault set, I got the one that Arrow put out a few years ago, the Scarlet Box. It has 1, 2, and 3, and a shit ton of extras, including a sort of a cut down version of Leviathan, which was like a feature length documentary about the Hellraiser movies. Or about some of them anyway. I don't know if they did all of them. But yeah, I used to have the original on VHS, and that was the first I'd ever seen it, was when I bought the VHS. Hey, thanks for liking the stream over on the Facebooks there, Jacob. Hunter says Scarlet Box is so nice. Too pricey for me when I wanted to grab them, though. Yeah, I hear that. I missed out on a lot of sets for that same reason. That one was just pure serendipity. It was just pure luck. I was in HMV. I think I just got paid. Point is, I had money. Um, fairly insufficient abundance. And I was just looking over there. They had like a little box set section, little horror section. They had one Scarlet Box. One. And it was like, I think it was like, what the hell? How much even was it? It was like $90, I think, something like that. Which is obscene to me for 3 movies. But, I mean, this is an Arrow set, and this was not an insubstantial box set. So I bought it. I just grabbed it. Literally, it was an impulse buy. I'm sure I was planning to spend that money on something else, but I saw that, and that immediately took priority, so I just grabbed it. Because I knew it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to just find it in the wild like that. It was clearly a sign. The Cenobites are trying to reach me. I just have to solve the box. Wow, really? Nice. A Marriage says, my local record movie store had a half-off sale all month, so I picked up all the Tom Baker Blu-rays for $15 each. Nice. I think we just need 3 more seasons? Yeah, 3 more seasons to have all of his. What was it? Season 13, season 14, I think. We need the Key to Time season. I know that. Season 13 and the Key to Time season. I can't remember what the other one is. Right. We need 15. We need 13, 15, and 16. That's what it is. Sorry, I just had to check. That was going to bug me. You never bothered to watch what? The 2016 movie, or? Oh, yeah. There was a big discussion about that on the YouTube side. Duncan. It's multi-stream is trippy. Sometimes I got to bear in mind who may not be privy to what conversations. I have found great deals at used stores before. Yes, definitely. Um, Found actually some pretty cool stuff. I remember there was like this mom and pop video store that was closing, and they were selling off a bunch of their Blu-rays, and a lot of them were, I guess they'd barely even been rented. I guess hence why they were going out of business. Um, so some of them still had the slipcovers with the cases. So two that I got from the same place on the same day. The Star Wars Clone Wars animated movie with the original slipcover, and Speed Racer with the original slipcover. So that was pretty cool. Those are apparently kind of rare now, so, and considered collector's items. You got your 14 terabyte for under $100 via eBay. Wow. Crazy. Was it like you bid? You actually bid like an auction? Holy shit. Music for You has some bragging rights today. Says, I bought 45 Disney 4Ks last week from a Facebook seller, €1 each. Deal of my life. That's nice. Sweet. No, it was just like a buy it now at that price? That's crazy. Buy now. Consume, consume, obey, reproduce. This is your God. What was this? Never bothered to watch it. Yeah, I own the Blu-ray. So it says I added it to my list on Netflix recently to finally give it a go. But I think it will be on my own funeral before it gets played. Yes. Exactly. See? Only other collectors would get that. Emerich says, that's awesome. Slipcover finds in the wild is an unexplainable feeling. That feeling astronauts talk about when seeing Earth from space, not even close. That's right. Berman says, there used to be a little video shop local to me. I could not get Blade Runner at the time on VHS. This is back in the days of VHS. So I ordered it from them, and that is how I first owned Blade Runner. Yeah, actually, in the 80s, when I was collecting VHS, there was a couple of video stores that I dealt directly with the owner.
I forgot.
To order stuff in for me. What?
I'm gonna need you to write me an excuse notice for my careers teacher.
For when? For what? For why?
Letting me go for my interview.
For
At 11.
Wait a minute. I have to write an excuse note to your careers teacher, so you can go for an interview.
It's just because
you
like
see the irony.
She barely lets anyone out of class enough as it is, and if I can't like call you, or she needs like a letter for proof that I'm allowed to leave, then it's like a just in case kind of thing.
Okay.
Actually, just use that pen. The blue one. That one's better than this one.
You want me to do this right now?
Yeah. Before you pass out.
I'm in no condition to do anything of the sort right now. I'd be like, hello, do you like puppies? I am farting rainbows and unicorns. Well, I'm not actually farting unicorns because that would hurt because the horn would probably get stuck in my butt. But rainbows are nice. So how are you? Oh, and Rose is excused today. Do you really want that?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Just write that I'm just write I'm excused at like 10:20 or whatever to go to my interview.
Okay. Can we what? Can we dictate it?
Ooh. Can you write it so I can go to bed?
What? I don't know what I'm supposed to write.
Just
This one?
yes. Stop. just say that I'm excused.
Hope y'all remembered to bring your 3D glasses.
Oi, Miss Tits. Rose is allowed out.
Okay, I almost wrote "Oi, Miss Tits," so.
No.
Oi,
No.
Ms. Tits. Oh, that's what Vermin says. Oi, Miss Tits. Rose is allowed out, biatch. Are you fit? You can careers me anytime if you dress gothy, Miss Tits. And remember, Rose is excused. Just copy what I put, okay?
Funk, just please let my daughter go.
Please write, screw your excuse, after the teacher asks, where's your excuse note? Ha ha! Teacher might not get that reference, but it might work if you sign your name. But please let my daughter go. Out.
Let my daughter go. It's like a ransom note.
Please let my daughter go. All right.
Still laughing.
What is the time
that
you need to be excused for?
11. Just say I have an interview at 11. What are you writing? Don't call her Miss Tits.
There, I signed it in cursive so they'll know you couldn't have faked it. Oi, Miss Tits. Let Rose the fuck out, you Hitleristic heathen.
Oh my god.
There you go.
We are excusing Rose from school at 11 a.m. as she has a job interview. Sean McLean, father.
I thought my made-up version was funnier, but sure.
Put love. Make sure you put love.
Vermin said, just put, daughter leaves now, yes? Sexually yours, Woodrow. Make sure you put love. I was actually thinking, don't put love. Love and nipple twists.
Is that why there's a little dot there?
I don't know what that was.
Little dot.
Dot father.
And then you drooled on the paper, I guess.
I was thinking about Miss Tits.
There's just a little speck of wet on the. Do you see that little speck?
A little speck of, well, you're not, Oh, there.
Right
A
there.
little bit.
There's a little speck of liquid on.
Yeah, I swear that wasn't from me. That was already there.
That wasn't there when I gave it to you.
Well, I don't know where it came from. I'm not dripping grease. It's like clear. You can see through it.
You just spewed on my.
Well, apparently, like McDonald's level grease, because you can see right through it. You see? There. See? That's not just spit. That's like
acid.
That's like xenomorph blood.
Well, thanks for drooling on my exclusion note.
No problem. Apparently, my saliva is
acidic.
Or just really greasy.
I mean, you have been eating chips.
P.S. Meet me at 11:05. Well, since I know you won't have anything else to do. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. Simpsons reference. I think that had the Homer's Doghouse swear jar subplot. Possibly. You will know it's me. I'll be the one outside standing in a mankini and enjoy my speck of liquid. It's a sampler. Hammerage says, hope Miss Tits isn't watching the stream. Yes, I'm sure all of Rosie's teachers secretly watch my streams. I got that hot dad energy, I guess. I mean, come on. She did, yeah. I mean, last I remember, she was, just a peanut. But she just kept getting longer and longer, as they say. So. Well, yeah. So, what is it? Duncan was saying. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I know nothing about the team who did Bridesmaids or how that would affect 2016 Ghostbusters. We also don't have SNL here. So basically, 2016 Ghostbusters appears to be a remake of Ghostbusters 1984 with unknown actors. I wonder if the SNL links affected the views over in the U.S. versus international. Oh, I'm sure it did, because over here, all of those actors are very well known. Some of whom had done comedy movies as well. Others were still mostly doing SNL. But yeah, so there definitely would have been a connection there. And that's kind of what the original was as well, was a lot of the main cast were former alumni of Saturday Night Live and Second City. So they were already recognizable faces. So I think the idea is they were kind of trying to do the same thing with the 2016 one, but with current SNL talent or recent SNL talent. And with it being an all-female team instead. So I think they're in the comics, the female team. Because I know the comics do the alternate universe thing quite freely and openly. They've had like various iterations of the Ghostbusters meet up with each other. Like the real Ghostbusters are a separate universe. And then there's like the movie Ghostbusters, and then there's the female Ghostbusters, and they have had crossovers where they've all met up. You know, if only they could get the Filmation ones in there too. I wonder if they had the rights to those. Wouldn't that be fun? but but yeah, so in that one, if I'm not mistaken, the female one is brought in within that canon as just an alternate universe. Done. Problem solved, you know? So yeah, I like the multiverse idea too, because it also gives us the sort of opportunity to have these different versions of these familiar characters interact with each other, and that's always fun to see, you know. I enjoyed that with the Turtles Forever movie, and I enjoy that every time they do it in Doctor Who. So, you know. How tall is her mom? Her mom was shorter than me. She was she was about up to my chest, probably. So I was the tall one. Didn't know who Kate McKinnon was before the first trailer. Neither did I, because I didn't really watch SNL. But I've since seen a number of sketches that she did and stuff, and I can see. I think she's very funny. I really like her kind of sassy attitude and stuff. So she struck me just from the trailer as being kind of the Bill Murray type character. So yeah, feet and inches. Well, I'm like 5'10". I think she was like 5'2" or 3. Grab some food and start my day. All righty, you have yourself a wonderful day, Vermin. And yeah, do we have the Streamlabs link pinned? Oh shit, we don't. Well, I should probably do that. Hold on a second. Kind of helps when you know where you can help to support the stream if you are so desirous of doing so. So desirous. Cyrus. There you go. So that's if anybody wants to drop a direct donation on the stream, you can do so at that link, and you'll get a fancy schmancy alert up on the screen. And donations of $5 or more, you can get our text-to-speech British guy Brian to say whatever funny things you want. Just try to keep it relatively clean, of course. And it all goes in the pot and goes towards the donation goal down there. So we have one of these every month, basically, just to help out with the bills and groceries and whatever else. And sometimes, if we're all on top of the bills, well, it'll just go towards cool stuff I can do videos about for you, you know. So there you go. It is a pretty nifty layout, isn't it? I was fucking around with the layout recently. Yeah, clips. You've seen clips and references to SNL and other American TV talk shows, etc., and movies. And I wish we had that sort of thing over here. Well, we kind of do, but it's gone a bit downhill as of late. You know. I'm kind of surprised you wouldn't at least have SNL over there. I thought it was like sufficiently big that it would have some kind of appearance over there. I don't know. See, here in Canada, we get a lot of American television. So we just kind of got exposed to it almost through osmosis, you know. Graham Norton, the least American show. Gotcha. Oh, you mean like for talk shows? Yeah. So I was thinking of something. I was thinking of what's his face, the Scottish bloke who did a show over here. I don't remember. Anyway, uh, yes, Graham Norton. I am familiar with. Well, I mean, his shows are. I mean, it seems to be just the same kind of thing all the time, like him sitting on his chair and then the guests on the couch, and they just all crack jokes for half an hour, and then that's it. You know, it seems very light. No, SNL is it's like a sketch comedy show, but it's performed live in front of a live studio audience, and it's broadcast live on the first night. Um, but it's mostly sketch comedy, and then they'll also have a musical guest who will do a couple of songs at different points in the show, and the show runs 90 minutes, including commercials. So, yeah. So without commercials, I think it's like 70 something minutes of actual show. So, but yeah, it's basically sketch comedy where they'll do different things. Sometimes there'll be a recurring sketch of some kind. Other times it'll be just one-offs. And they'll do parodies of commercials and things like that. They have a news segment, which would just have kind of like very tongue-in-cheek takes on some of that week's news, or just full-on made-up nonsense. But yeah. And then every week would be there would be a celebrity that would be the host of the show, and the celebrity host would also participate in some of the sketches. So, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then here in Canada, we had SCTV, which was Second City Television, which was a close cousin of SNL. Actually, a lot of overlap of cast there. This hour has 22 minutes, and the Royal Canadian Air Farce. Yeah, I'm surprised this hour is 22 minutes is still going. I remember when that started. I didn't think it would last that long, but it's still going. SCTV, I mean, was great until I think it got bought out by the Americans. And then they put it on American television in a longer format, and it just wasn't the same. It just kind of died shortly after that. And then Air Farce, I think it just kind of fizzled out after a while. Used to watch the Two Ronnies a lot, Duncan. Don't have anything like SNL or Two Ronnies today. Yeah, I don't know that there's. I mean, really, SNL is the only show like that here too. Um, there's really not much else. So I guess in a way it is kind of a variety show because there is a little bit of because they do have the musical guests and other kind of things, but it's kind of like the last vestiges of that format, you know. Like the whole variety show format is just something you don't see anymore, you know. I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. Big Brother, Celebrity Come Dancing, hate them all. Oh, great. So it's all pretty much gone reality TV there too. Great. Swear that's all that the regular TV is anymore. It's just all reality TV. I guess because it's cheap to make and they're running out of money. And all the dramatic stuff and comedy stuff and whatnot goes to streaming. Because also on streaming, you don't have any real censorship to speak of. So you're just free for whatever your artistic vision is. During the 90s, you had Noel's House Party. Yeah, that one I know of. Loved that. You have every episode of Noel's House Party? What? What? Really? That's crazy. Wow, that's interesting. I remember that one being mentioned in Dimensions of Time, the 30th anniversary Doctor Who special. And it was hosted by, what's his face, Noel Edmonds. Or maybe that was Noel's House Party. I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, he seemed like a funny, pretty inoffensive host. Oh, wow, really? Every episode was uploaded to YouTube from the original studio tapes? That is crazy. I love when stuff like that happens. It's like that series, The Computer Chronicles on archive.org that I'm sure we've talked about before. How all the files up there are taken from original master tapes. They even have like the barcode and everything at the beginning of them. Looks like Pee-wee's Playhouse. CTV is supposed to have a doc funded by Netflix. CTV, I think, directed by Martin Scorsese, released sometime originally in 2021, but is in limbo till Scorsese cuts the finished documentary. Gotcha. Cool. Well, I look forward to it. Pee-wee's Playhouse with a public broadcasting budget. Yes. Noel's House Party. There you go. Hey, Gibby Gaming. Thank you for the follow. Oh, I was going to pin the... hold on a second. Can I not? No, I can't do it here. Hold on a second. There we go. I'll just pin that to the top there. So if any of you guys wanted to drop a few bucks into the pot for this month's donation goal, you know where to go. And there you go. Nobody gets the munchies for free unless they have no food. If you have enough channels, you can get both the new SNLs and the older reruns. That is true, yeah. Craig Ferguson, that's who I was thinking. Thank you, Matthew. Yes. You knew who I was talking about. He was in an episode of Red Dwarf. He was Confidence in the Confidence and Paranoia episode, Series 1. Like the other Saturday Night Lives with Eddie Murphy and John Belushi. Oh, yeah, those Dan Aykroyd, speaking of Ghostbusters. You know, Chevy Chase, Jane Curtin, Gilda Radner. Oh, yeah. Bill Murray. I love it. Count Roshula asks if I've watched Star Trek Picard or Strange New Worlds yet. I have seen most of the first season of Picard and all of the first season of Strange New Worlds. I need to rewatch Picard and watch the rest of it. I absolutely love Strange New Worlds, though. I think it's the closest we've had to a new Star Trek thing that feels like old Star Trek, you know? It feels like the original series almost. It's great. I love it. Great British Bake Off. I don't know if that's a thing here. Huh. Which major Canadian city are you closest to? Wow, are you trying to dox me? Been there, done that. Um, Vancouver would be the biggest. I'm West Coast, like way on the West Coast. Any more west, and I'd be in the ocean. Are You Afraid of the Dark is on YouTube. I believe Goosebumps is as well. Um, yes, they do. They do film a lot of shows here, yes. Because it's cheap. Yeah, exactly. It's like an updated version of TOS, but it has the same kind of vibe to it, like to the stories and the things they encounter. It feels very TOS. Also, just the camaraderie of the crew, I think, is great. I think it's a terrific cast. And yeah, I got to watch the second season of it, actually. I haven't seen that yet. But it's all out now, so I'll probably binge it when I get a chance. Duncan says, I'm going to watch an episode of House Party every Saturday to relive the 90s. There you go. Yeah, I've heard the new Goosebumps series is good. Yeah, I haven't seen the animated ones yet, Lower Decks and Prodigy. I definitely want to, though. I've heard Lower Decks is hilarious. Hmm. Oh, well, if you're not sure about watching any of the new series, I would definitely recommend Strange New Worlds as your jumping on point because it will be the most familiar to you, I think, in terms of the feel of it. My mom's a big fan of Voyager. I haven't really seen too much of it. I watched it periodically during its first season, but I didn't really keep up with it much. But Fall of the House of Usher. Well, I've only watched the first 15 minutes of episode 1. So far, so good. I did watch a few others though. I watched The Midnight Club, which is also involved Mike Flanagan. He co-wrote it. That one was really good, and kind of bummed it's not getting a second season. And then I watched Fear Street because I didn't get around to watching it before. Really enjoyed that. And I mean, all I can say is I've liked pretty much everything else that Mike Flanagan has done. I liked both the Haunting series, Doctor Sleep, um, and oh, Midnight Mass. Yeah, Midnight Mass was awesome. So yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to properly sinking my teeth into Usher. And yeah, the old one, Rob, with Vincent Price. I actually only just recently saw that one for the first time, and really enjoyed it. It was good. That's why I was kind of curious to see the Mike Flanagan version because the Vincent Price one's still pretty fresh in my mind. So interesting. Deep Space Nine's pilot is so good, but I really could not get into the Cardassians being a huge part of the ongoing story. I don't know. That's another one I haven't seen a ton of, honestly. I remember liking the pilot movie as well. Was it the Emissary, I think it was called. But yeah, and I watched it periodically here and there. But I don't know. I mean, you got that one Cardassian that Dr. Bashir always talks with, Garak, played by the wonderful Andrew Robinson, who my introduction to Andrew Robinson was, coming full circle here, the original Hellraiser, where he was one of the main characters in that. Bly Manor, I thought it was all right. I mean, it's a take on Turn of the Screw, right? So, um, but yeah, I thought it was okay. Heard it was even better than the Hill House. Yeah, I mean there's elements I like better from one and others I like better from the other, you know. But I wasn't like, for example, I wasn't wild about the whole thing about the one guy becoming a junkie. That whole subplot of his junkiness, just, I don't know. I felt it didn't really add a lot to the plot. But everything else about it I liked pretty much. I gotta say, Mike Flanagan's really revitalized Henry Thomas's career. Like, holy shit. He's been in pretty much everything that he's done. And every time I see him, I gotta do a bit of a double take, because half the time I don't even realize it's him at first, because he just becomes those characters. He's such a good actor. Spielberg was onto something when he cast that kid back in that Alien movie way back when, I tell you. Yeah, again, when he was Jack the bartender in Doctor Sleep. And he was in one of the episodes of Midnight Club, and it took me like 5 minutes before I realized it was him, because it was so different from all the other characters I've seen him as. And he's been in all of the Netflix miniseries. He was terrific in Hill House. I thought he was even better in Bly. Um, but yeah, and he was in Midnight Mass as well. All very different characters in all of them. And like, wow. Elliot's all grown up now. But yeah, like one of my friends and I are talking about that, how Mike Flanagan has basically become just a full-blown horror auteur. You know, like anytime it's one of his projects, you know you're in for something special. So, Gerald's Game. I don't know if I've seen that. There we go. Okay. All right, so I pinned the link, the donation link at the top of the thing. Whoa, okay, I was tripping balls here. I was looking at this freeze frame of the stream, and it's midway through an emote wall of the lull emote, and my high ass thought that that was just me with piles of chocolate chip cookies. And I was like, what? When did that happen? Yeah. No. No. That's not what that is. Planning is basically the Stephen King of horror limited series, very hit or miss, but the hits are out of the park. God damn. I may have to knock off early tonight. Well, relatively speaking. I'm actually meaning to start earlier in the day, although we had a pretty good turnout tonight considering how late I did start. But yeah, I thought I might knock off, and then I'm running all over town with Rose tomorrow. So we might, I don't know. I just did a bunch of grocery shopping today. Otherwise, I was going to say we'll do some grocery shopping while we're up there because we'll be by Walmart, but I just kind of spent all the grocery money today. So, I don't know. At the very least, I'm going to bring a book with me, and I will read some of my book probably. Yeah. Maybe there'll be a hot single goth girl there who will just immediately fall in love with me, and then we will all live happily ever after. Hey, it could happen. All right. Well, I think I'm going to bid you adieu for now, folks. It's almost midnight on my end. And I will see you sometime on the morrow. Hopefully it won't be as late as this. All depends how late that appointment goes, I guess. But yeah. Yes, thank you. Says good stream, man. Good luck with the itinerary. Yes, indeed. Fortunately, I don't need to be involved in most of that, but well, just tomorrow I need to be present authoritatively to give her permission to drive, I guess. Something like that. Okay. So I think I'm going to go get a couple of those other nice, delicious, pink and bloody steaks and watch a really gory horror movie of some kind. Maybe finally watch Jason X, actually. It could happen. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks for coming out. And I will see you next time. Until then, where's the buttons? There we are. Thanks for watching, and sayonara. That's not me farting. That's the bus outside farting.